Hello, 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 everyone. Good evening. Miss Justice, number one. All right. All right. There we go. Much love, PG. Much love to you, girl. God bless. Crystal. Crystal is number two. All right. God bless. Oh, that is beautiful. Beautiful hearts. All the missing children. God bless. And let me see, Brat number three. There we go. There we go, girl. Good evening, PG. Much love. God bless. Summer Moon, Utah Wells. We are your army. To the chat, many prayers. And to Miss Norway, many prayers. God bless. I appreciate that, Brat. God bless. You are number three in here. Let's find, all right, number four. Number four is Rick. Hey, PG. Hey to you. God bless. Good to see you in here. All right. And Sandra, how you doing tonight, girl? Hey, PG, Thanksgiving. Amen. Tomorrow, Thanksgiving. Hey, Janet, good to see you coming in, girl. Sassy Pants, how you doing? Hello, PG and chat. Prayers and much love to everyone. Amen, girl. Beth Ann, how you doing, girl? Man, this is a greet and meet as you come in tonight, right? Greet and meet as you come in. I'm doing great. Good to hear. Good to hear, girl. Hey, spread love. How you doing, hon? Good to see you. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I hope everyone's got their turkey ready and ready to go for tomorrow. I know PG's ready to go. I already got my turkey all cleaned up, all buttered up, all seasoned up, and all put in a pan. All I got to do is toss it in the oven. Hey, Carolyn, good to see you, girl. Hi, PG. Hello, Chad. Miss you all. Hey, girl. God bless. Good to see you joining us tonight. AM, how you doing, sweetie? She says, hey, PG, much love and prayers. I appreciate that. God bless. God bless. H says, hey, everyone. Good to see you, H. Good to see you. Okay. A lot going on, right? I guess everyone, even I myself was ready to flock over to Dolly last night because, he's been up on Ben Hill Road and a lot of people, seen the picture of the shirt and, we all, hey, Lucy, I appreciate that, girl. Happy Thanksgiving, PG, and all in the chat. Hey, girl, I appreciate that. You started my night out right. God bless. God bless. I appreciate that. Kim, good to see you, girlfriend. How you doing? Happy Thanksgiving to you. APG Mon Chats, happy Thanksgiving to you. I love Kim. Always look for Kim in the chat. I love that girl. Hey, Showstopper, how you doing, sweetie? I like that name, Snopes. Showstopper, right? Man, I'm going all over the place with it tonight, right? I'm telling you, holidays, I just make too many brownies. I make too many brownies all into that bacon. Might as well bake some extras, right? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, Raven, how you doing, sweetie? Good to see you. There's Janet. She says, hey, H, good to see you. All right. A lot going on. Anyway, everybody flocked. They flocked over to Dolly. And, because we thought he had something. I thought he had something on Summer. Well, it happened to be, a shirt or something. I guess he thought belonged to Sebastian. I don't do Sebastian. I just haven't ever. I follow Sebastian's case. Don't get me wrong. I I keep updates on it, but I don't particularly. I don't really get into it, and I don't really cover it. Um, if it's something important, something that needs to be, you know, thrown in the spotlight, then we grab it and bring it to the forefront. But I've said from day one, Sebastian's case just too cut and dry for me. Um, you know, it's like it's all obvious, right? I mean, it don't take a rocket scientist to, you know, put two and two together and end up with, well, actually, if you put two and two together, you're going to end up with 22. 2 plus 2, those 4, right? And you don't need a rocket scientist to figure all that out. So, I like, I don't know. I kind of go with what, I go with the cases that God puts it on me to go with. And if God don't lead me to put the kid out there and really go at that, go at it for that particular person, I leave it alone. And I leave Sebastian's case alone because I think that, I think God just knew that so many other people's going to snatch a hold of it and, and run with it. So, Summer needed us to stay where we was. She needed us to stay where we are for her, obviously. So I didn't really get into Sebastian's case. So, but I heard that, the shirt was about Sebastian, and actually most of the live was about Sebastian. So, it is what it is. I was hoping they'd be more about Summer, right? I was hoping they'd be more about Summer, more about, but it's going to take a miracle to find Summer. It's going to take a miracle to figure out where she's at. What exactly they did with her. I mean, I don't know why law enforcement in Tennessee, especially, Hawkins County, right there in Rogersville, I don't understand why that they were not more aggressive. It's like, why was they not more aggressive? Why was they not more aggressive in solving Summer's case? Why was they not more aggressive in, interrogating these suspects and trying to get the answers to solve Summer's case? I don't understand. I think that it's a possibility, that I think that, like, I think the people, the head of the sheriff's department and stuff in there, I think they're just too damn old. I think they're too old. I think they're too tired. I think they're too worn out. I think they're in it now for the money, not for solving the cases. They really need to step down and let some young blood in there that, knows how to get shit done. These old folks are trying to just hang in there too damn long, right? They're trying to hang in too long, and they need to just stop. Retire that ass. Retire that ass. Go sit down somewhere and let somebody else, get in there with, new eyes, a fresh perspective. And, I think sheriffs should be like presidents. They should only be able to serve, 4 years and be gone. Let someone else get it. Because if you always got a new sheriff in town, then the new sheriff's going to want to get things done, right? They're going to want to get stuff done, make a name for themselves while they're there. And I think Ronnie just been there too long. I think Pruitt's been there too long. These are they're just too fucking old. I think they're wore out. They're too laid back, too kicked back, too relaxed. you know, it's, you know, I'm going to make the same amount of money whether I work or I don't, right? They're going to make the same amount of money whether they're doing their job or they ain't. And that's the problem. You know, people want the paycheck. They don't want to do the job anymore. You got that in restaurants. You got that, you know, in law enforcement. You got it in, you know, um, the fire departments. You know, it's like, how dare you wake us up at 2 or 3 in the morning, right? What the hell's the problem? Why don't you cook during the day and not in the night? Type of thing. You know, they don't want to do their job. You're on 24-hour call because, you know, that's your damn job. It's your job to be there at 2 or 3 in the morning if they need you. It's your job to be there at 6 in the morning if they need you. It's your job to be there at 6 in the afternoon if they need you, right? I mean, that's your damn job. Do your job. That's what you get paid for. Everybody wants to get paid. Nobody wants to work. It's disgusting, but it is what we're dealing with. It is what we're dealing with. You know, when they said that people will get wiser and weaker, they're right. These people's got wise enough to understand they don't have to do the damn job to get paid. So therefore, no jobs are getting done. You know, and America's one big melting pot. It's melting all right. Trust me, it's bad. Hey, our bucket list has holes. Good to see you, sweetie. Absolutely, Brett. I appreciate that. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Absolutely. For Summer's channel. Let's keep her name and her face out there in the streets. Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, it would be nice, you know. It would be nice for people to hit the thumbs up button, you know, in support of Summer and her channel. I understand it does help. It does help the channel a lot, you know, for you to hit the thumbs up. I haven't ever pushed the issue, you know, of people hitting the thumbs up or subscribing or anything like that. I haven't ever done it. I just figure, you know, if they really care about the little girl and they truly love her and they truly want, you know, her to stay in the spotlight and out here, you know, in the YouTube community, so that, you know, law enforcement will be more pressured to solve the case, then they'll just do that, you know, out of respect for Summer. A lot of people don't, you know, a lot of people, their hate for PG keeps them from, you know, from hitting a subscribe or hitting the thumbs up, you know, and that's just ridiculous. That's totally ridiculous, you know. I go to a lot of channels, I subscribe, I hit the thumbs up, you know, because, you know, it ain't about the creator. It's about what the creator does, and that's keep the children's names out there. We need to keep them out here, and I respect that. Hey, oh, Solomon, I appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving, PG. Hey, girl, God bless. I really appreciate that. Absolutely. Hey, Joy, hello to you, sweetie. Absolutely. We want Summer brought home. Yes, we do. Hey, Brett, God bless. Member for 18 months. All right, girl. Happy Thanksgiving. Much love. God bless. Hey, girl, I appreciate your support for some. Oh, wow. Crazy Retire Lady. I appreciate your support, too. I appreciate all y'all support. Hey, PG and chat. Good to see y'all. God bless. God bless. I appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving. But yeah, you know, it does help the channel, and it helps the channel, you know, to succeed at keeping the children out there, these missing kids, and you know, it does put pressure. It does put pressure. And did anybody put a one in the chat if anybody else watched the JohnBenet Ramsey segment? There's three episodes on Netflix. I have over the last couple of days. I mean, I'm catching bits and pieces. I haven't really been able to sit down and completely watch it, which I will do. I will do. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, if I get a chance, an opportunity tomorrow, after dinner and everything, I'm going to try to catch up on a couple of the episodes. But yeah, I'm telling you, a lot of stuff coming out we didn't know about, right? A lot of stuff coming out we did not understand about the JohnBenet Ramsey case, right? Uh, I know, I know that my grandmother and my mother, they used to talk about her case. I heard them talk about JohnBenet Ramsey's case, and and so forth. And I remember going through some old paperwork and stuff. When my mother passed away, I remember going through some old paperwork and stuff, and I found some inquires and things, that she had bought. It had JohnBenet Ramsey's case on it and so forth. And so people were interested. People were interested back then. And I remember them talking about, they didn't know if the mom and dad had did it or not, didn't do it. That, it was weird that they found the child in the house in the basement back in some, some isolated area off. I guess it was like an old coal chute or something, um, area that they found her in. And, you know, and the fact of believing an intruder had came in was, but then again, they had a Christmas party. They had a Christmas party, and they had a lot of weird people coming through their house, including some Santa Claus guy, right? They had Santa Claus coming in. And, that's why it's not good, you know. I know everybody loves Santa Claus, but it's not good to be hiring up Santa Clauses to come to your home, and be around your family and inside your house. And, you might want to leave those people on the outside, not inside your home. But the Ramseys were rich, and they had some kind of big thing in their area, some kind of open house, Christmas open house type thing. And so they, hired up this Santa to come into their house. And I guess the Santa told JohnBenet that he was going to come back and give her a visit after Christmas, right? That he was going to see her again after Christmas. So I don't know. That's really weird, right? Really weird. Oh, you don't get Netflix, but please keep me posted. I had read the books on her case a long time ago. Yes, exactly. Um, yeah, they did. They did buy the house and remodeled it. Absolutely. I would keep that basement door shut, right? I would keep that sucker. I'd keep it bolted. If you ask me, I mean, man, it would look like something crazy. I'd have like 50 locks on there, right? I have all kinds of damn locks. They'd be like, what the hell, what the hell is that door lead to? I'd be like, you don't want to know. Nobody opened that door. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. That's true, Lucy. You know, man, when you got children, do not open your doors. Do not open your doors for nothing. At that time, I think JohnBenet, that case was back in the, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it back in the 90s? I think it was back in the 90s. And in the 90s, things just started, that's when everything started to get out of control, right? That's when gangs started forming, Crips and Bloods and all this stuff. And that's when, I mean, it was just getting really, really unsafe. I mean, that's when the hood was really, the hood was really getting bad, right? It was like the hood was dangerous. And then early 2000s, it got even more dangerous, It was just, I mean, it wasn't no more, having a fist fight and, drug to the office, or having a fist fight and police showing up. I mean, these people were straight up, you know, you didn't need the police, you needed a squad, right? It got really bad. And these young kids weren't playing no more. They weren't playing. It got really violent, really violent. And I don't care how rich you are, when the world's getting that violent, you better keep your door shut and locked, and weirdos out of your home, right? That's what you need to do. Well, it does, doesn't it? It's like time. It's like time. Time goes so fast. Time, it's like somebody threw the clock out the window, right? It's like somebody really did open it up and throw the clock out the window. Time flies. And it's like like one day is like a few hours. It seems like just a couple hours and the day's gone. One day seems like a half a day. And, I hate to say it, but a whole year seems like, it just seems like a couple months and the year's gone. But the Bible says that God will speed up time. It says that he will speed up time. Hold on, you guys. Give me a second. Um, Actually, the Bible says, uh, and except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So see, if God didn't speed time up like it is now, you don't seem to have time for nothing, right? If he wouldn't have sped it up the way it's being sped up right now, there would be nobody saved. He's got to speed it up because, I guess humans today Humans today can't be good for very long at a time, obviously. All right. Can't be good for very long at a time. So God's speeding up the time. So, you know, you got a better chance at pulling through with being good and righteous. I don't know. That's what it sounds like. So, thank God for that. Thank God for that. But time does go quick. It does go quick, Um, it's like you put your head on the pillow. Next thing you know, it's time to get up again. You get up and it seems like it's time to go back to bed. Um, you know, I remember a time, when time didn't go so fast, right? I remember a time when it didn't go so fast. I remember a time, you got up and went to, went to school, and you came home, and, you had time to watch a TV program before dinner, or get your homework done, or even go out and hang out with some of the kids for a while before dinner. Then you had dinner and they still had time to hang out with your friends, come home, still watch, take a bath, still watch some TV, and, get a snack and everything before you even went to bed. And, but it don't, that kind of time you don't have it no more. It's like you get up, right? You work, you go to work, the kids go to school, and then it seems like, they're right back home. The workday's over, they're right back home. You're jumping right into dinner, right? You're jumping straight into dinner. After dinner, you're trying to get a few things picked up, maybe some homework or something, schoolwork put together. And the kids are taking their baths and everything. And you're like, where the hell did they go? I mean, it's time to go to bed. It just seems like you ain't got as much time anymore as you once had. That's true. Yes, to God, one day is 1,000, and 1,000 is one day. That's to God. That God, that's God's time. But we got to remember that God has eternity. God don't have to worry. God don't have to worry about getting everything done, everything done. And things squared away, before he passes away or anything, because he ain't going to pass away. People on earth, they have to make sure, that people on earth got to make sure that they got their will set, right? Who they're going to leave everything to, money to take care of their burials. They got to, here on earth, you got a lot of things to do. From the time you're born, you got to learn to walk and talk and eat and do all these things. Go to the bathroom, right? You got to learn to go to potty and all these things. By the time you learn that, they throw you into school. Now you got to learn all this knowledge, all this educational stuff, and prepare you for the future. And then you got to learn all this college stuff. And then you got to, get into a workforce, and a damn good one, to pay back the college, right? And then and then be able to afford to still live. And then, you're working to put a roof over the head, clothes on your back, food on your table, take care of your children once you start a family. And I mean, there's always, you always got so much to do every day, so much to do. And, and that's how life goes for you. It's how it goes for, the human. That's how it goes for you. And, and then you've got your kids, and you get older, you got your grandkids, and, before you know it, it's time to be thinking about, your retirement and your will, and, when you depart this world, and all of these things. So you go on, you go on time. Every day is a blessing to you. Every single day is a blessing to you, from God. But God, I mean, one day is 1,000 years, 1,000 years, one day. I mean, there is no time, there is, I mean, and our days got shortened, right? Our days got shortened, for first of all, we had two people in the garden, right? Starts out, we had two people in the Garden of Eden, and a serpent who talked a lady into, eating from some fruit, and then she talked Adam into eating from this fruit, and the next thing you know, everybody's in trouble, and they get kicked out of the garden, and now we all have to, we have to die, right? Because of that. Their sin became our sin, right? Their sin became our sin. And then after that, people were still living for 800-900 years, right? They was living for like some people maybe 1,200-1,400 years. And, and then because humans were so bad, well, boom, God said, I'm not going to strive. I'm not going to strive with man forever. So he knocks it down to 120 years, So now you only got 120 years. It says that, that the wicked will not live out half their days, right? The wicked ain't supposed to live out half their days. It says, if you honor your father and your mother, your days shall be prolonged upon the earth. So if you're good to your parents, and don't do no evil to your parents, your days will be prolonged. God will give you extra time, on earth. So he knows how valuable time is for you to be here. He knows how valuable, how much you want to be here with your loved ones. You don't want to depart too early. So I don't know. It just seems like a whole lot of people messed it up for everybody else. And we had to pay the consequences for their actions, So I don't know. I wish it would have been, because it says that you're not, a father's not responsible for his son's sins, right? And the son ain't responsible for his father's sins. I wish we wouldn't have been responsible for them people messing up that lived 900 years, right? I wish we could have, at least give us our chance to live that 900 too, but we didn't get it. So I don't know. We came along. We came along a little too late, right? A little too late, but I don't know if I'd want to live any 900 years on this earth. This earth is really evil. And, if you live 120 years, it'd probably be too much, right? Probably be too much. I don't know. But anyway, I didn't come in here to talk about, the people messing up in the Bible, making everybody else unhappy. I came in here to talk about Summer's case. I came in here to talk about Ziggy and Fred not showing no receipts, right? They haven't been showing no receipts. And Ziggy was big, right? She was big on people showing receipts on her channel. Show the receipts. So, I want to know where her and Fred's receipts are. I want to know where, if they got video footage, camera systems, if Fred had all of these trail cams, and he's got Andy on them, and he's got, you know, Candace on them, and he's got all these people on them. Where's the pictures? Where's the pictures? And he could go to law enforcement and ask for his camera back. I mean, you know, what are they keeping it for? They haven't, it's 4 years down the road. They ain't solving the case. He can go and say, hey, I want my camera. I mean, you've had it for 4 damn years. I want it back. You're not solving this case. Where's my camera? You know, did you guys sell it? Did you sell it off? You know, one of your big sales, like you do all the cars that you repossess, you know, that you pick up here and there. The cars that you impound and people can't afford to get them out. You put them on auction. Did you put my camera on auction? Where's my camera? Right? He could go say that. He could go tell them, you know, did you auction it off? Where's that? It's been 4 years, man. Yeah. Why doesn't he do that? So he could show us the pictures. That's all I'm talking about. I gotta see those pictures. That's, you know, that's my main thing. I want to see the pictures. Why is Fred trying to backpedal now? We all heard him and Laura tell the story of, and I said Chad, that's supposed to be Chad. Chad finding Candace at their house on June 15th, 2021, between 3:30 and 4:30. Why change it now? To hauling a motorcycle for a mysterious man, and he hasn't ever seen again. He does, you know, he don't know the guy's name. He don't know anything about the guy. He helps him, but don't know nothing about him. Why lie about Laura being in Tennessee? Right there, clearly, she says, yes, I'm in Tennessee. You know, now, and then he was saying he didn't know Summer. He didn't know of Summer, that they kept Summer a well-kept secret. He said that Summer was in the pool with, you know, in the pool with Jody Zoo's son. I played that out. I played it out just a couple of days ago. I played it out. Him saying, hey, I saw her in the pool with Jody Zoo's son. I mean, he knew about Summer. Why is he trying to separate himself now, you know, like this? You know, that shit is shady. That's shady stuff, Fred. Yeah. And then right here, somebody writes, somebody writes here that Brian is my uncle. He released all the video footage and everything. The guy that Andy works for is this person's uncle. And they said he released all of the footage and everything to TBI, to the feds. They're like, why would my uncle lie to the feds? He would go to prison. Andy was at work that day. You know, so why is Fred lying about it? But even more so. And I believe Andy was at work. I believe Andy and Don Wells both were at work hiding them asses. I think they were both at work. I think they was both at work the whole day. Trust me. I know Don Wells was. And then this person wrote to Laura, said, was there bears up on the hill? And then they said, hey, when you guys hauled cars off and was late getting there, talking about June 15, 2021, getting there, did you guys bring car back? She said, no, we made on time. She said, no, we made it on time. So they did make it to the crusher that day. They were hauling a vehicle. June the 15th. Laura said it right here. There's her avatar. Laura said it. She said no. We made it on time. That's Laura. Laura's writing. That's Laura writing to the person. So, you know, it's bullshit. Why is Fred lying? They were hauling cars that day. This is another person that says, I know one of their neighbors. I don't think the Wells, outsmarted the police and did anything to her, which is BS. But they went on and they said Don and Candace partied hard, and they did quite frequently before Summer went missing. They had shady people in their home. Candace let RSOs stay there on the property when Don was in Utah. So, you know, Utah several years ago. And this was about 1 year before Summer disappeared. The kids ran wild. The cops had been up there many times, you know, due to noise and violence complaints streaming from the boys fighting each other. The children were left unattended quite a bit. Oldest boy watching them do all kinds of dealing. I think a man saw them out in town and watched on TikTok. Candace put up barely dressed videos of Summer all the time. She's talking about Summer, you know, and this is all true. You know, that's all true. You know, these are pics that Candace was taking of Summer for sale. That, you know, I had to draw a shirt and shorts on Summer on the first picture for sale. And then this is a picture, you know, another picture that I had to only post the top half because I won't post the whole thing. But the top half of her, you know, she did take some very, you know, provocative pictures of her daughter and put them out there for people to see. You know, I think they was running something up there. I think that they was running something, you know, in their way of getting people, you know, interested was through TikTok, through Facebook. I think they were using social media to, you know, to do what they were doing, you know, and they was doing some shit. Trust me, they was doing some shit up there on 110 Ben Hill Road. And not only that, but why did Don and Candace leave the party? Why did they leave the party? Could it have been because of this weird guy right here that showed up? This weird guy, Joseph? Could it have been because of weird Joseph showing up? I think it was. And where did weird Joseph come from? And why does weird Joseph think that he, you know, could come out of the blue demanding answers upon Summer's case? Why would Candace and Donald see weird Joseph and run away from the, you know, Summer's party so they don't have to interact or, you know, have any dealings with this guy? Where do they know this guy from? Right? There's a lot of weird shit going on. And if we remember, you know, if we remember right, Robin says Summer don't need no cookies or brownies, right? Summer didn't need no cupcakes. I'm sorry, cupcakes or brownies. Summer don't need none. Ain't that freaking weird? I think that was quite weird as well. I think it's weird that Joseph comes out of the blue and gives the Wells hell, right? For someone that don't know them, he was demanding answers, which was really strange. You know, I think some real stuff was going on, you guys. I really do. But the day, June 15th, 2021, I think right there you're looking at the coppers. I think you're looking at the coppers. I think you're looking at, I think you're looking um at 12:30. I think you're looking at 12:30, 1 o'clock at the swimming hole, right? 2:30 they get back to Allison's and they dress Summer in that outfit. 10 minutes from home they take a video, and then they go up on the hill, drop Granny off, come back down off of it, go down to Fred's, drop Summer off there, right? Because that's where the dogs picked up scent, at Fred's. So Summer had to been in that, she had to been transported in that area somehow for the dogs to pick her scent up like that. And I believe, and Laura said they made it to the crusher. They made it to the junkyard. They made it to the crusher. And that's something that they lied about. They said they did. They said they didn't. And they said they didn't even go. It's something they've been lying about. And Laura says, yeah, we did make it there. So, on time. We got there in time to get paid for the vehicle. So, was Summer in that vehicle? Was she in that vehicle? We don't know. We won't ever know, because that vehicle wasn't, law enforcement didn't run down there and stop everything and check it. So we don't know. We have no idea. But, Fred's lying a lot. Fred's trying to take the attention from him, put it on everyone else, people that wasn't even around there. He's trying to lie about, about hauling that car that day now. He's trying to lie about all of these things. Why? I mean, if you went and had a car crushed, who cares? Tell the damn truth. Say, hey, yeah, me and my girl went to, why change it up? Why change it up? Once people start tapping, once somebody starts tapping, on the fact that Chad came in there and busted Candace right after you guys, after Fred and Laura left out. Why? And Summer's supposed to be missing. She's supposed to be missing, around 4:30. No, she wasn't supposed to be missing until 6 o'clock. Until 6 o'clock, 5:55 to 6 o'clock. I mean, the earliest she came up missing was 5:55. The latest she's supposed to came up missing was 6:05, because Candace called Don at 6:08, telling him she couldn't find Summer. And they started looking ASAP within 2 minutes of her, walking into the house, and the search was on. The search was on, and she called Donnie within 5 minutes, 10 at the most. So Summer had to come up missing at 5:55, between 5:55 and 6:05, because Don got a phone call at 6:08, 6:09 from Candace. Right? So there's no way she was missing when Chad Arnold came in and busted her ass down at Fred's house between, 3:30 and 4:30. There's no way Summer could have been missing at that time. I mean, that's like 2.5 hours before law enforcement got called. 2.5 hours before law enforcement even got called. There's no way. Don Wells, there was a chimney outside that was busted up that he repaired right after Summer went missing. Right after Summer went missing, there was some blocks missing out of it, because there was some pictures taken early on that showed these blocks missing out of that chimney, and then he put them back in there. you know, some people think Summer might be inside of that. They think she might be in there. I don't know. You know, I don't know. But, you know, the point being is, you know, Fred needs to start showing receipts. Stop talking or start showing receipts. We don't want to hear, you know, we don't want all this talk. We want proof, right? We want proof. If you can't show us the proof, then shut up, because we're not going to believe it. We're not going to believe it, especially when him and his old lady Laura said that they was absolutely hauling a vehicle to the crusher that day. They said, matter of fact, they supposed to saw Candace on their way there. They just saw Candace, you know, on about the time that they was taking that video in the back seat of Summer. They were supposed to be seeing Candace over there, right? Over on that road. So, you know, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can give me a second here and I'll see if yeah, it would have been around the left turn of 93, right? 93 north. It would have been about around that left turn right there that you know, they supposedly seen. That'd have been about the time she was taking that video too, because, you know, it would have been about 10 minutes from Ben Hill Road. It'd have been about 10 minutes from Ben Hill Road when they supposedly took that video. And that's about, you know, down about the time that Laura said that, you know, she saw, supposedly her and Fred saw Candace. So I don't know. I don't know. Just saying. And that mattress is disgusting. That mattress is absolutely disgusting. That is like grounded in nasty, nasty dirt. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, the stain up there by Candace's head, it looks like it may be more. It looks like it could be a lot more than just dirt. You know, I don't understand why law enforcement did not, you know, at least take that sheet into evidence and, you know, and check it to, you know, see if there was anything unusual on it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, sassy pants. You know, they should have checked it. I don't know why they didn't. I have no idea, you guys, why they didn't. But, you know, it is what it is. But I think everyone's getting tired, you know, of Ziggy and Fred, you know, coming out here telling a whole bunch of stuff. You know, I'm not taking up for Andy Bernard at all. I'm not taking up for Andy Bernard at all. I'm going to tell you something about Andy Bernard. Jody Sue said that Andy was, you know, She said, go ask Andy. You go ask that monster what he was selling Candace to sedate those little girls. You go ask him what he was selling Candace to sedate not just Summer, but other little girls as well. And it wasn't the goody good, right? It wasn't the goody good. Besides goody good, what was he selling her? Now, do I believe that Andy was, selling Candace something to date little girls? Yes, I do. Why? Why, PG, do you believe this? Well, the reason I believe it is because Jody Sue was really upset with Andy at the time because he had just put a ring on that other woman's finger and not hers. She was with this guy for years, right? She was with this guy from the time she was a teenager. She danced in a nightclub to keep him up. She took a lot of beatings and a lot of ugliness from him. I mean, she put up with his shit for all of these years, had 2 children for him. She bared 2 children for Andy. She stayed with him, like the mailman, rain, snow, sleet, or hail, no matter what it was, she stuck with him. And he doesn't ever put a ring on her finger, but he leaves her and sticks a ring on some other woman's finger, right? He don't even know this woman a year from what he's saying. He doesn't even know her but a few months. He says they met in June when Summer went missing. And, and in 6 months, he's got a ring on this lady's finger. And, that didn't sit right with Jody Sue. I was with you for years. You didn't put a ring on my finger, but you're going to stick one on hers. And Jody Sue was pissed, and she came out and she just put it out there, right? She put it out there that this is what he did. You go ask him. That's why I believe it. I believe it because it came out of a scorned woman's mouth, right? It came out of a scorned woman's mouth. So I do believe it. In my opinion, he did. Now, was he up there on Ben Hill Road, June the 15th? Hell no. Hell no. He was as far away from that as he could get. Just like Don Wells. Don Wells was at work hiding. I believe Andy was too. I think the only idiot that was on that road was Fred Hill, to be honest with you. That's what I think. That's my opinion. Right? And I think Candace, if Chad Arnold came in there between 3:30 and 4:30 and he caught Candace at Fred's house and there was no Grandis and there was no Summer, then Grandis had to have been let off at the house and Summer had to have been let off at Fred's, right? That's the only explanation. That's the only sensible explanation for it. That everything that went down. I mean, that just makes sense. It makes perfect sense. And, and Fred's lying now. He's lying about taking that car to a crusher, right? I mean, this is exactly what they said early on, and early on they should remembered what the hell they did that day. I mean, they said that from day one. That they went, that they was hauling a car and to the crusher, to the junkyard. And now all of a sudden he wants to renege on it. He wants to change it up. Is he afraid that they might still have that car somewhere and law enforcement might melt it down? Maybe see if there's anything in it anything left in it that they could possibly conclude that, that Summer was in there. I don't know. I mean, he's afraid of something. Because now he's completely denying being there. So I don't know. Right. It's all adding up now. It's definitely all adding up now. Absolutely. Um, it does. It does. It adds up. Completely adds up. You know. And I'm going to tell you something. I mean, Andy can't go nowhere that Fred ain't watching him, right? He can't go nowhere Fred ain't watching him. Look. Look in the background. Look in the background of this picture. Oh my goodness. Look who's in the background of this picture. Right? There's Fred, y'all. There's Fred watching Andy. I don't think Andy knew. I don't think he knows that Fred's back there. Sorry about that, you guys. Sorry about that. Um, I had to stop to talk to my daughter for a minute. But yeah, right. There's Fred. Fred's hanging out in back of the place, watching, keeping a real close eye on Andy there. And look, Andy has no idea. He has no idea. I don't think he took a close enough look. But Fred definitely keeping a good eye on him. You know, Fred really working with law enforcement these days, right? Yeah, right. Fred pops Fred pops up everywhere. I do not know the time frame that this picture was taken. No, I don't. Absolutely not. I just know I assume that it was taken recently though. I assume it was taken recently. Um I'm gonna have to check that chain out Andy's wearing. I got to check that chain out, see if it's real. Right? You gotta see if that chain's real. Yeah, he does. He looks too happy, don't he? He looks too happy. I gotta admit, Andy does look happy. But you know, I'm not sticking up for no Andys. I'm not sticking up for no Jody Sues. I think Jody Sue and Andy knew exactly what those children were going through and done nothing to help them at all. You know, nothing to help them at all. I'm not sticking up for them. But I ain't sticking up for no Fred either and Laura because they're seriously lying right now, especially Fred. Fred's lying his ass off, right? He's lying his ass off, and that just, man, that just has a bad odor. That has a really freaking bad odor about it. When someone starts changing it up and they start lying, that's bullshit. I mean, why, if you done something, you said way back, you and Laura told law enforcement that you was going to the junkyard that day, that you guys were hauling cars, that you went to the crusher. You told everybody out here, that that's what you guys were doing that day. That, you wasn't in Ben Hill. You didn't get back till, after 7 o'clock, and law enforcement and everybody was already there. You guys had been at the crusher. And now you're lying. Now you're wanting to renege on it and lie and say, oh no, we wasn't even hauling cars that day. That's bullshit. It's not right. I mean, you should have just stuck to your original story, right? Because then people would have said, oh, well, they obviously ain't got nothing to hide, because this is what they said from day one. They've always said it. Their story hasn't changed. I mean, probably they didn't have nothing to do with anything. But when you start changing your story up like this, and you start lying like this, that's not even right. That's not even right. Exactly. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Well, not really Laura. Not really Laura. Laura still says that they went to the scrapyard. Laura still says that they went to the crusher. It's Fred that's changing it up. It's Fred that's lying, not Laura. Fred. I mean, Laura really has stuck with the story. That's true. I think she's been afraid not to. Yes, she is. Yes, absolutely. None of them have kept their story straight. That's true. Second to none. That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. But, if Fred and Ziggy's going to come out and talk, then just show the proof. Right? If you got pictures, show the pictures. You got recording, let us hear the recording. Right? That's all we're saying. We're just asking for what what Ziggy asked us for. Proof. Show the proof. That's all. That's it. I mean, if I was Ziggy, I'd be a little worried. If I was Ziggy, I would be a little worried about Fred. I mean, I would be, I hope Ziggy's smart enough to stay on her toes. I hope that she's smart enough, to see how Fred's changing his stories. I hope she's smart enough, I hope she's smart enough to stay safe, right? For her sake and her daughter's. I just hope she's smart enough to stay safe, because she really doesn't know this man. She really does not know him. I think she jumped feet first into something that, that she shouldn't have jumped into. I think, I don't really think she knows Fred or a whole lot about Fred. And yeah, Ziggy is one of them spontaneous people, right? She's not really young. I think she's like, what, middle-aged? She's like middle-aged. But she acts like, Ziggy hasn't ever grown up. She still acts like a teenager, a young adult. Her mind, her physical body is middle-aged. Her mind is, like a child. And she's real spontaneous to get into shit, and then she gets in a pickle and don't know how to get out. And, I just hope for her and her daughter's sake, that she's careful. She really needs to, She really needs to think about all of this. You know, take time to think about it and take time to, you know, I just hope she opens her eyes and really sees Fred for who he is. Because I think Fred can be a dangerous human being. I think he can be very dangerous. And I don't think she knows what she's got in her house under her roof. That's all I'm saying. I just hope, you know, I hope she's smart enough to be careful for her and her daughter's sake. That's what I'm saying. I'm making a roast dinner tonight. Yum. Hey, girl, and you didn't invite me? You didn't invite me? I'm hurt. Hey, I am very offended. I wasn't invited to that roast dinner. No, PG actually I made a great big roast. I made a great big roast yesterday. Yesterday. It was really good. It was really good, you guys. I made one yesterday. And I did pizza tonight. I took the kids out. We went out for pizza. And that's what we had tonight was pizza. But you know, I didn't really want to get into a bunch of cooking tonight because I've got to cook all day tomorrow. So today I spent my time, you know, washing up the turkey and getting it put up in the pan and, you know, everything. And then back into the refrigerator ready to go into the oven. And you know, tomorrow I'll be, you know, peeling potatoes and you know, you got to get up and make the stuffing and you got to make, you know, sweet potatoes. I got to make sweet potatoes and mashed potatoes and corn and green beans and, you know, some good old greens and rolls. And there's a lot of cooking, right? Stuffing. So there, like, you got to put a lot of stuff on the table for Thanksgiving. So I'm going to be cooking all day tomorrow. Hopefully it all goes well. Hopefully it all goes well because, you know, I wouldn't want to have to see my friends, you know, my friends with their big red truck because they don't like it when I see them. So I'm hoping that, you know, I'm hoping that Thanksgiving dinner don't end up like other dinners have before. It might be all bad. Could be all bad. I don't know. But I'm going to do my best, you guys. Do my best. I got to get up in the morning, fry up a whole lot of bacon, right? I got to fry up a whole lot of bacon because everybody likes the green beans made in bacon grease. They like the greens sauteed and made in bacon grease. It's like, so you got to have a lot of bacon grease. But I'd be cooking. I went and I got my apple pies. I got pumpkin pie. You know, I got big old cinnamon rolls for, you know, breakfast in the morning. My kids will be having pancakes, cinnamon rolls, you know, scrambled eggs, sausage. And then we have usually Thanksgiving dinner. We have ours around 2, 3 o'clock. What time do you guys eat? We usually eat around 2, 3 o'clock. We get up to get breakfast and stuff, well, brunch. And then we usually have Thanksgiving dinner around 2, 3 o'clock, usually around more the 3 o'clock time. A lot of people eat Thanksgiving dinner really early, like 12, 1 o'clock in the day. I can't do that. I can't do that, y'all. I got to have my Thanksgiving dinner, you know, later, like 3, 2:30, 3 o'clock. Yeah, there's a lot of food. It's a lot of food. I'm going to tell you, Christmas at my house is even worse than Thanksgiving. Christmas time at my house, you got to have pies, the apple pies. You got to have the apple pies, the pumpkin pies, the cheesecake. I mean, you have to have a big old table, a big table full of desserts, right? And you have to have, like, the little sandwiches for people. You have to have, all the snacks and everything. Um, because people come early. A lot of people come early. They show up, they start showing up at 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, and they come all day. And then you got to have dinner, right? You got to have Christmas dinner. So you got to have the big, turkey and ham, and you got to have all the trimmings. And I'm going to tell you, Christmas is a lot of work, because you have to have a big table. Got to put up an extra table to hold all the desserts and the snack foods for people, and all the drinks, right? You got to have a big old bucket at the end of the table full of ice with a bunch of cold drinks in it. And you have to have all the cups and paper plates and napkins. And then you have to have, little waste baskets sitting around so people could throw their 50 plates away. Oh man, Christmas is a lot of work. Thanksgiving is a picnic. It's Christmas that gets me. I mean, I have to start on Christmas. I have to start on Christmas like a week or two before Christmas gets there. I got to start, baking up the cookies, and you got to have big platters of cookies. You got to have a lot of cookies. You got to have enough cookies for people to take home too. So, I got flour. I have flour in all of my face, my hair, up to my elbows. Yeah. And it's a freaking mess. And then I burn half the fucking cookies, and I have to make more. I'm like, oh yeah, I got it this time. Okay. I know what I'm doing this time. And then, you burn the shit again. And then you're like freaking out. It's crazy. You got the back door open, throwing burnt cookies all over the place. Hoping the birds eat that stuff, right? Before all of your people show up and see it. You're just hoping that all the little critters come out of their hiding places and steal your burnt cookies. It's crazy. I mean, I can't throw them in the trash. They're hot, and the guys with the red truck already don't like me. So I got to throw them, I got to take them out, throw them in the yard. And then you don't want your people to see all these cookies in the yard. They're like, what the hell happened there? Somebody burnt the cookies. Oh, hell no. I wouldn't go to Don and Candace's place. Oh, hell no. Don't even. Girl, don't remind me of that. I'm telling you, I'm already anorexic as hell. Straight up. I already got like a severe eating disorder. Oh, Lord, if I think about eating at Don and Candace's place, trust me, I won't be eating for weeks. It's like, I can't even look at food. I couldn't even look at it. Just thinking about Candace motorboating her dirty feet in that swimming pool, oh my gosh, it gave me anxiety, right? I got like severe fucking anxiety. I'm like, how in the hell could somebody allow her to do that? That was so gross. Yeah. It's shit like that pushes you over the edge when you got freaking anorexia going on, and you got OCD, and you got freaking germophobic. You're like, oh, hell no. Why am I doing this to myself? Right? This is all the stuff I don't want to think about. What am I doing? Like, oh God. Shit. What the hell was that? I don't even know. Man, there was something popping and snapping in my background. I don't even know what the hell it was. I was like, whoa, about put me on my seat. I'm going to tell you something. You guys ever seen those little firework things that you tie? You can tie it on the door and then tie it to the other door, and when somebody opens it, it'll snap. You guys put a one in the chat if you've seen them before. They got a string on each end, and when you pull the strings, it'll snap. It'll go pop. I'm going to tell you something. My kids, they love to get people with that. They absolutely love to get people with that. I'm telling you, they got me more than once with that one. Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. I'm like, I'd be looking like one of those. I'd be looking like one of those weird people. I'd be looking like one of those weird people in a movie. I patting myself like, oh my gosh, I don't know what it was, but did it get me? All right. I didn't feel it, but it might have still got me. Right? To find out my kids played a prank and they're all laughing. Yeah. And it's like, you better be glad I got a good sense of humor right now, because if I didn't, your ass be in trouble. My kids be like, you so funny, Mom. I'm like, yeah. You about to see how damn funny I am. Right? my, my kids are a freaking trip, man. Straight up. I was trying to get one of my sons to do something today. Trying to get him up off his backside to do something. And he said, hold on, Mom, hold on, you gotta wait. I'm about to beat the score. I'm about to beat the score. I said, beat what score? He said, I can't get up to him because he's in the middle of playing something on this, you know, phone. I'm like, okay, and I'm one of those people like, I have, a lot of patience, but my patience wear thin after like, you know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's like, you got to go, we got to do something. And so he's sitting there. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something. And then his brother says, ha 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 ha, you ain't gonna beat the score. You ain't gonna ever get my score. I'm like, oh, so you're the one got him into this. I didn't get him into this. He got me into this. No, you're right. Then the little one who's playing that I'm trying to get up, he is like, that's right, Mom. He's the one that started it. And then the other one's like, I still don't know who the hell started it. All I know was I was standing on my feet for who knows how long, waiting for this kid to beat a score that he didn't beat. Right? Yeah. That's all I know. But I do not know who started who to playing it. But whatever they're playing, I'm going to tell you what, it was getting to my patience today. It was absolutely getting to my patience. I was like, my kids they are straight up, they're a trip. Ah, there's Andy. Hey, Andy, did you see who was stalking you? Did you see who's stalking you? I bet you didn't know Fred was back there watching you, did you? Well, you know it now. There he is. He said he got his eyes on you. Right? Oh, Freddie, he's keeping watch. You better remember now he's working with law enforcement. He is a witness, not a suspect. Right? That's what I'm hearing anyway. Yeah. He's got all this recordings. He's got all these. He's got a camera and evidence right now with all kinds of pictures of Andy on Ben Hill Road. Yep. And watching, and on this camera, they could see Fred moving his vehicle and having to move it back and move everything again to let Andy by. Andy's come one way. He ain't even able to do his job that day because of Andy keeping him busy moving instead of able to hook his stuff up and leave. Yeah. And this camera is in evidence. It's been in evidence for 4 years now. 4 years. I say go get it. Go to TBI, FBI, Hawkins County Law. Just go get your camera, man. Go get the camera and show us the pictures. I want to see Andy on Ben Hill Road, June the 15th, 2024, making Fred overwork himself, moving everything back and forth so Andy can get by. I want to see it. And if Fred can't show it, then he needs to stop saying it. Because Laura plainly said, got the proof, we got the pudding. We got the pudding, you guys. We have the pudding. Right here. They said, hey, when you guys hauled cars off and was late getting there, June 15, 2021, did you guys bring the car back? No, we made it on time, she said. They were at the crusher. Laura said they were at the junkyard, at the crusher, on time, June the 15th. So there's no way Andy was up there. There's no way Fred could have seen Andy up there because they were busy at the junkyard, at the crusher. Right there, Laura admitted it. She admitted it. You know, it is what it is. 2021, absolutely. 2021, they were at the crusher. June 15, 2021. Yes, that's the truth. I don't know if it's the truth or not because they told so many fucking lies. I don't know now. Right? But I think they were. I think they were because that's what they said at the beginning. That's what they said for months and months and months. And all of a sudden, Fred just changed it. He didn't change it until after, he got with Ziggy. After he got with Ziggy's when he started changing everything. Actually, he started changing everything when the family members of Cotton came out. When the family members of Cotton Simpson came out and started telling about Chad Arnold. And we started looking for Chad Arnold, to talk to Chad Arnold. That is when Fred started changing up his story about even going to a crusher that day. That's when he started changing up his story. You have no art, no part. Andy, I don't know. Do I believe that you Do I personally believe, in my opinion, do I believe that you were on Ben Hill Road June 15th, 2021, um, before you got off work? No. No, I don't. I really don't. I don't believe it. I believe you was at work. I believe that you were at work. I believe Don Wells was at work. I believe both of you all were at work. Don Wells was at work for sure. His ass was hiding. He was hiding at work. That's what Don Wells was doing. I'm not sure what you were doing at work, but you was at work. I believe that. Because your boss had to show, they had to show proof that you was at work. And your boss, if your boss got caught lying to the freaking law enforcement, he would be, oh my goodness, he'd be put in jail. They put him in jail. So I don't think your boss lied about you being at work. I mean, I don't think nobody, I wouldn't risk my whole business. I would not risk my whole business for nobody. I would not say I would not tell law enforcement someone's there that wasn't. I don't give a damn. I don't care how good of friends we were or anything else. I would tell them, I'm sorry, but I can't do that for you. I'm not going to do that for you. Don't ask me to lie to law enforcement because I ain't going to be doing that shit. You know, that's some serious stuff right there. Portraying to be law enforcement is very dangerous stuff. You do not do certain things for people. And I don't think his boss did that as well. I think Andy was at work. Now, I don't know about what Jody Sue said. I do not know about what Jody Sue said. Jody Sue said that Andy was supplying Candace with stuff to sedate those little girls. You know, do I believe that? In my opinion, yes. Yes. I believe it because Jody Sue was scorned. She was scorned and she wanted to get at Andy, and she did. She wanted to let Andy know, you know, she just wanted to put it out there that she's got information that could, you know, could do some harm to him. You know, well, she said you sold more than that. She said that you gave Candace more than that. She said you gave Candace stuff to sedate those little girls, not just Summer, but other little girls as well. So you know, and she was really, you know, she was really upset because you just married that other woman. So do I believe her? Yes. I believe Jody Sue when she said that. I think Jody Sue knew a whole lot of shit. I think she knows a lot. I think she knows enough probably to put all these people in prison, if you ask me. I think Jody Sue knows enough to put Andy in prison. And I think that's what the message she was sending to him was, I know enough about you that I could put you in prison. I think she knows enough about the Wells and the dirty stuff they was doing to put them in prison. I really do. If Jody Sue wanted to, I think she could stick these people in prison. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion. I really do think she could put them all behind bars. Right? I think Jody Sue knowed all the shit. For real. And I think, you know, anytime she wants, she could step up and, you know, tell some stuff. Just saying, you know, that's my personal opinion. Do I think Andy was, you know, had anything to do with June 15th, 2021? No. I think that Don Wells himself orchestrated what was going to go down June the 15th. I think he started driving a different vehicle. I think that, you know, he fired his coworker to blame it all on. Do I think Andy had any knowledge that it was going to go down? Yes. I think Andy might have known. what was going to go down June 15th. I think he might have. I don't know for sure, but I think he may have, because he did go out looking for Dobbs. So it's a very good possibility Andy did know. But did he have anything to do with it? As in carrying it out, I don't think so. I think no. I don't think Andy had anything to do with June the 15th. What I think is Hunter was up early waiting on Candace to show up. He knew she's coming. I think that, I think Summer was sick. I think something was wrong with her. They'd go to prison if they tried to get her medical care or treatment. I think that they knew they were going to have to do something to save their asses because Child Protective Services was on them. And I think that, and in my opinion, this is only my opinion, I believe I think Candace had that 15-year-old kid do something really sinister. I think that they dressed Summer at Allison's house. I think they staged her on the milk jug, the boxes and the milk jugs. They staged her. They took that video. And I think they went into Ben Hill Road, dropped Grandma off at the trailer. Candace came back off the hill, went down to Fred's. And I think that's why the dogs hit down there. The dogs picked up the scent at Fred's because Candace went down there. That's where they, I believe Candace handed Summer off to Fred and Laura. And I think they went out of Ben Hill Road with her. Chad Arnold came in and busted Candace down there. Candace didn't know what to do or say because she just handed Summer off to these guys that left. And I think she said, Summer's missing. I'm looking for my daughter, because that's what she planned on doing later anyway, right? She planned on doing that later anyway. And I think she just did it early with Chad. And that's my personal opinion. That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. And then, she followed Chad out onto Beach Creek. She turned around, came back, went up on the hill, freaking out. I'm sure she's freaking out. And I think what she did, her and Grandis had a powwow about it. And I think that, around 5:30, 6 o'clock, Candace, I think between 5:30 and 6 o'clock, Candace went into the house, tells these boys, where's your sister? I sent her in here. The boys were busy playing game machines. They wasn't paying attention to anything. They was just trying, they were just happy that Candace and them wasn't on their asses, leaving them alone. And I think that, they didn't know what she's even talking about. And they're like, well, she came in here. She ain't up here. She must be in the basement, Mom. And Candace went down there, came back up trying to see how much the boys knowed, if they seen anything. And she, and they didn't. She was glad that they didn't. And she sent them out there on a wild goose chase, right? She sent them outside on a wild goose chase, her and Grandma. And then they called Donald and they called law enforcement and, carried the rest of this shit out. That's my personal opinion. I think Chad Arnold was the key to understanding exactly where Summer was handed off at. And then with Fred trying to change up his story, when him and Laura had been telling the truth about, what they was doing that day, from the beginning. And then all of a sudden him trying to weasel out of it, right? Trying to get out of even going to the junkyard, trying to get out of, even having something crushed. That's just suspicious as hell. That makes him look more guilty now, right? It makes him look more guilty because now he's trying to not only separate himself from Summer, but he's trying to separate himself from what he originally was doing that day, you know, and put the focus all over something else. And that's bullshit. Yeah, it's lies and lies and more lies. Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you, when you're lying like that, when you lie like that, the truth just, you know, the truth just surfaces on its own. When you have people, like Fred lying, you pretty much know the truth now. When you have people like Don and Candace lying, you pretty much know the truth. When you have people like Hunter lying and then slipping up, you pretty much know the truth. You know, it's their slips. It's those slips they do that tell you the truth of what happened that day. When Hunter slipped up and said, "Oh, she's the only one pillow," which she was sitting on it. She's the only one wet. She was a back driver. She was over there on the driver's side door on the pillow wet. Right? That's what he said. When he was asked about pillow, he said, "Pillow. Oh, Summer, she was sitting on it. She was wet. The only one in the car wet." So that tells us she didn't get changed at the swimming hole. That tells us she was wet, laying against the driver's side back door, all the way through Sonic's, all the way through Walgreens, and all the way at the grocery store until they got to Allison's house. And then it tells us that she got dressed at Allison's house because on the way home, 10 minutes from hitting Ben Hill Road, they take a video of her all dried up and dressed, right? The pillow's on the floor now. And the boxes are back in the car. Milk jugs are back in the car. She's all propped up on the shit. That tells us that all of this was orchestrated at Hunter's house. I mean, it just all makes sense. It is what it is. And Don Wells says, "Oh, you won't ever find Summer." Well, I guess you won't. I guess you won't. If they actually made it to the junkyard, they made it to the crusher, I guess you won't. Because that car's long gone now, right? That car's been smashed like a garbage can and tossed aside. Of course you're not going to ever find her. Absolutely not. That's like finding a needle in a haystack. You know, and how, you know, if Don Wells doesn't know what happened to his daughter, how the hell would he know you're not going to find her? If Don Wells didn't know what happened to his daughter, then how could he tell the searchers they're wasting their time in the woods? You know, that's common sense right there. If Don Wells didn't know what happened to her daughter, then why does he know that he'll see her in the resurrection? How does he know she's no longer with us? I mean, they're telling you in so many ways that they know exactly what happened. That's why they don't want flyers. That's why they don't want billboards. That's why they don't want a reward fund. That's why they don't want nobody's ass looking for her. And the money that started coming in was the only thing keeping them out here. The only thing that kept their asses talking. Do you see Don and Candace out here talking anymore? Do you see them out here since the money stopped? Do you see them out here talking to anybody? Do you see Don Wells coming up on White Boy's panel and talking? Do you see Candace up there talking? Do you see Candace's ass up on Day Days talking? You don't see their asses nowhere up on panel talking. Because they ain't going to be talking. The money stopped. There's no money coming in, and they ain't going to talk anymore. They're not going to talk because they was only talking for the money. I mean, if there would have been no money, they wouldn't have ever been out here to begin with. They'd have been hiding those asses. They'd have been hiding those asses the way Dom wanted to. The way Dom wanted to from the beginning. Dom wanted to hide because he knew that that shit could get him put in prison. But Candace, you know, the greed got to him. Greed. All this money coming in, they wanted all they could get. And they were willing to take the risk. They was willing to take a risk. Right? And they did. They did for that money. They did. And they came out and they ran everybody around the mulberry bush. They ran everyone around the mulberry bush. Here we go around the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush, right? Here we go around the mulberry bush with a big old yellow car that he knew already had been cleared. Oh, let's throw Mr. Dobbs under the freaking bus when he knew he had already been cleared. Let's throw the Light brothers under the bus. Let's throw Dudley under the bus. Let's throw Don, freaking Andy B. And let's throw, everybody we can think of under the bus. Let's talk about Utah. Let's talk about the sisters. Let's talk about religion. Let's talk about, this freaking some lady writing books and hiding criminals in a church. Let's talk about anything and everything, but let's not talk about Summer, right? Let's talk about everything that won't get us put in prison while we bank the hell out of all this money coming in. And let's not talk about my daughter. Now, if you want to talk about our daughter and you want to support our daughter, then obviously you ain't supporting us. And if you're all for Summer, then we can't be your friend because we're not for our daughter. We're for ourselves. We don't want to talk about our daughter because our daughter could get us put in prison. And if you ain't willing to just talk about everything else, then we don't want to talk, right? And that's the way it went. That's the way it went for over 2 years. For over 2 years, that is the way it went. Until people really started to open their eyes and started to understand what the fuck these people were doing. It took a long time. It took a long time for people to see the truth. It took a lot. I'm going to tell you, it took a lot just to get Summer back into the spotlight. It took a lot just to get that little baby girl back into the spotlight. Straight up. Do you know how hard it was? Do you know how hard it was to get little Summer Moon, Utah Wells, back in the spotlight? Because you know something? Myself and all the Summer supporters that was here on this channel from day one, we know how damn hard it was. We know how hard it was to get little Summer out there in the spotlight where she's supposed to have been from day one. We know how hard it was to pull this baby to the light and to get everybody focused on this is the victim, not Don and Candace. Summer, she was the victim. We didn't want to talk about the sisters. We didn't want to talk about religion. We wanted to talk about Summer. And it took a lot for us to finally get Summer pulled to the forefront. out of the dark place where Don and Wells and Candace Wells had pushed her with all that bunch of bullshit. We was the ones who stopped the mulberry bush. When shit started to go around the mulberry bush, we called it out. We said, oh, hell no. This has been cleared. That's been cleared. No, this is it. No, that's it. It took us a lot. And we are 3 years down the road, you guys, almost 4. We're going on 4 years as of June 15th, 2025. 4 years. That's a long time. It's a long time. And all of that focus should have been on Summer day 1. And Don and Candace should not have been ever allowed to not talk about their daughter. They should have not ever had no one protecting their asses, letting them get away with not talking about Summer. It should have been, if you're out here, you're going to talk about your daughter. You don't want to talk about your daughter. Obviously, you're a guilty piece of shit, and we don't want to talk to you anyway. We'll talk to your neighbors. We'll talk to other people because we don't need you. And that would have put them in their damn place. And we probably would have got a lot more information if Cher would have just let Don and Candace keep running their faces and fighting when they was on her, when she opened a live up and all of a sudden they got into a big fight. Instead of hanging up and protecting their asses, if she would have just let them keep going and going and going and not stopped it, we might have known the truth now. We may have known the truth, but we don't. We don't. Because these creators didn't give a damn about finding the answers for the missing child. What they gave a damn about was their click likes and their fucking views. All they gave a damn about was that money flying in, to support their bullshit. Whatever fucking habits they got. And I'm telling you, there's some really shitty ass fucking YouTubers out here with some really shitty ass fucking habits. White boy happens to be one. Right? That's like the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen hit YouTube. This dude is an ex-fucking convict. An ex-convict that don't know shit about nothing. He's still a fucking convict, right? He's still shady as fucking hell. He doesn't care about Summer. He's just a big-eared bullshitter. That's what he is. He's freaking a Benny Keys. Grab a child, grab the parents, and mother freaking Cash App gang, right? That's what he is. And there's a whole lot more like him. A whole lot more uneducated, fucked up, scum of the freaking bucket out here using these babies up as an income. And they do not care about getting answers for the children. They just care about their damn channel and getting what they can when it comes to the bank. And that's bullshit. And I'll be the first one to call it out. And people say, oh, PG, calling it out ain't doing nothing but hurting yourself. You're just keeping your own channel from getting any support. I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't care. God's kept this channel running, baby, for almost 4 years. I haven't got hardly nothing the whole time, and that's okay. That's okay, because that ain't what I want. What I want is these babies found. What I want is people telling the truth. What I want is justice served against the evil bastards, dirty enough and low enough and scummy enough to do something evil to a child. That's what I want. I work a fucking job. I've got one hell of an education. I'm an intelligent bitch. And I got plenty of fucking money. I don't need no fucking handouts. I'm not out here relying on my chat to keep my refrigerator full. No, I keep that bitch full myself. There you go. I don't need nobody paying my bills. I don't plan on quitting my daytime job. But what I do plan on doing is being here and doing everything I can to find the truth for these missing children. To have them found, brought home, and justice served for these missing children. That's what I plan on doing. Because that's what God put me here to do. He put me here to call out their bullshit. He put me here to call out the truth. He put me here to help get justice. And I'm going to be here doing it. Sorry to say, I'm going to be here doing it. PG is an OG in Summer's case. Yeah, that's what PG is. Right? I'm going to tell you something. I know that Don and Candace and a lot of these people think I'm the worst fucking nightmare. And you know what? I probably am, and I don't give a shit. And I've got a lot of mother freaking haters, and I don't give a shit about that either. They can keep on fucking hating, right? They can keep on hating. I don't care. You know what they hate? They hate the fucking truth. They don't hate me. They hate the truth. That's what they hate. They hate to hear exactly what pieces of shit they are. They hate to hear how they use these children. They hate to hear that they're going to have to answer to God one day for it, right? That's what they're going to do. Hey, Shelly, I appreciate that, girl. Super sticker. All right. I appreciate it. And I tell you what, Shelly, the money PG gets goes right back into Summer's channel. It goes back into it, the pay StreamYard. It goes back, and we got the best cable. We got everything. We ain't doing this shit for nothing. What I'm saying is we're not using free StreamYard. We pay for StreamYard so that people can come on this panel up here and we can run all this content that we bring to the table so we can put out the truth. We don't do it shystily. We don't go and pull up other people's stuff. We make our own content. We pay for the apps and everything to make our own content here. We pay for the best freaking internet so that we don't have everything going in and out saying, oh shit. Hold on, you guys. We don't do that. We pay for the freaking best for Summer's channel, and so we can do our best out here for Summer and every other missing kid we choose to cover. That's what we do. And I'm going to tell you, you won't find any other channel doing it either. You won't find no other channel doing it. So I appreciate everybody who helps support Summer's channel. But I'm going to tell you what, I put a whole lot out of my own pockets into this. And you know, I'm not going to say that it ain't stressful sometimes. I'm not going to say it ain't, because sometimes it is. But you know what? I just remember. All I do is remember that there's been other times as stressful, and I've been able to make it through. And I'll make it through again. So I don't get too stressed anymore. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't wear earbuds. I don't wear freaking, some big funky things smashing my head. because we got the best equipment. We got the best equipment for Summer's channel too. So we can kick back, everybody can hear everything clearly and loudly. And I don't have to suffer the pain of wearing all that stuff on my head and going through a bunch of misery. I'm going to tell you, God has blessed us. And I'm so grateful. I'm grateful that God blesses PG. I'm grateful that he blesses this little girl and her channel. I'm grateful that he blesses all the people in the chat. And I'm going to tell you something. We've been here almost 4 years. And I'm going to tell you something. We have prayed for a lot of people. We prayed for a lot of people. And you know, they got well. They got well. We have prayed for so many people and they get well. You know why? Because God's with us. God is with us, you guys. And I know that. I know he's with us here on Summer's channel. Don't think he's not. Because he is. And when I first came out here, people didn't want to even talk about God. They didn't want to talk about him. You know how many people I've heard tell me, you're supposed to be a Christian. You're supposed to be, you ain't no Christian. You're supposed to be a Christian. Christians don't cuss. Christians don't stand up for themselves. You're no Christian. No, I am a Christian. You're just a hurt, broke back asshole that is pissed off that you can't run me over like you have ran other Christians over before. That's what your problem is, right? That's what their problem is. The people that tell PG you're no Christian, they're just a broke back asshole. Pissed off because they cannot run me over and say ugly things and get away with it like they're used to doing to the normal Christians out there who try their best not to stand up for themselves, right? Because they think that ain't what God wants. I'm going to tell you, I think God wants you to give, you know, I personally myself, I think God wants you to stand up and give those evil beings a steel-toe boot in the ass. That's what I think. Absolutely. I'm not going to put up with their shit. I'm not going to do it. I don't have to. I don't have to. Just because I'm a Christian don't mean I have to. And I'm not going to. Right? I want to hear that shit because they can. Because you can't with me. That's right. I'm a soldier. I'm not a speed bump man. You ain't gonna run my ass over. You can forget that. I'm going to tell you now. I know God hears our prayers on this channel. I know that for a fact. No doubt in my mind that God don't hear our prayers. I'm going to tell you something. I do not know who was praying for me over the last few days, but I know someone was. I know God was answering someone's prayers in here. I know that for a fact. Because I asked God, I told God, I said, I don't know who's praying for me, but I sure hope they keep praying. Because my life got better. I was going through a lot. My life got a little better. And I was looking up. I don't know who was a praying, but I'm going to tell you, whoever you are, please keep going. Keep doing it. Because PG, I can use your prayers. I come out here, you know, I'm out here, rain, shine, sleet, or snow. I come out here a lot of times that I should not be here, you guys. I should not be here. I got so much going on. If I told you what was going on, you'd be like, oh God, I don't know why you're here. Well, I'm here because Summer needs us. I'm here because this is the only channel that is willing to go up against these liars. The only one willing to call it the way it is. And Summer needs that. And other missing children need it too. They need us. Right? They need us. Hey, Jean, I appreciate that. I do, PT. I got your back. Girl, I got yours too. Trust and believe it. I got all your alls back just like you got mine. But I'm going to tell you, this isn't something easy to do. You know, you guys think that people make it look easy. People make it look easy, but this ain't easy. If you're doing this right, if you're doing it right, it's not easy. It's a lot of work. A lot of work, you guys. A lot of work. But I'm going to tell you, at the end of the day, it's worth it. At the end of the day, it is worth it. Because you know what? At the end of this day, when we hear little Summer saying, help, please help me, somebody, anybody help me. At the end of the day, we know we're doing all we can to help. And I wish law enforcement would know that too. Because when they lay down in their bed at night, I don't think they could say they did all they could for her. But we can. We can. And I thank God for that. I thank God for that. And I'm going to tell you something. Fred's got something to hide. He's got something to hide. Fred Hill's got something to hide because he's changing his shit up. He's twisting and he's turning and he's changing everything up. And I'm going to tell you, I think Andy's got something to hide too. I don't know if he's still in our chat or he's not. But I think Andy's got something to hide too. Because if Andy didn't have nothing to hide, then he wouldn't be out here. He wouldn't be out here. If you don't got nothing, if you ain't got nothing to hide, you're not out here. If I ain't got nothing to hide, then there's no reason for me to be out here trying to defend myself. Why, why? I don't need defended. I didn't do anything, right? I don't need to defend myself. I didn't do nothing. So I ain't going to be out here because I don't care. I don't care. I know what I did and what I didn't do, right? And I don't have to defend myself. I would not even care. I'd be like, blow all the hot air you want to blow. Blow all the lies you want to blow. I don't give a damn because I didn't do anything. And I wouldn't be out here. I'd be just living my life, doing what I need to do. But when people's out here and they're trying to defend themselves, obviously they got something, some reason. They feel they need to defend themselves. There's a reason. They got something in the race. They got something in that race. And Fred, and when you go throwing people like the Wells did, when you start throwing everything under a bus, even when it has nothing to do with your missing child, but you're throwing everything under the bus to keep the focus off of you, that just shows you're guilty as fucking hell. When you start changing up your story, when you start changing your story from going to a crusher to seeing 50 people on Ben Hill Road that day, that just shows you're guilty as hell. You're guilty of something. Right? I mean, these people are amateur criminals. They're amateur. They don't even have the mind, they don't even have the brains of a good criminal, to be honest with you. You know what Fred lacks? He lacks saying, what would somebody that didn't do nothing do? Like if I was totally innocent, what would I do? Well, that's what he should be doing. But he ain't that smart. Don and Candace, if we didn't do nothing, how would we be acting? And I think that's the way we need to be acting, right? We need to be inviting everybody up here to look for our kid because Fred done left out of the holler with it, right? And in my opinion, he did. It's nowhere in here, so why do we care if people's all over the place looking? Let them look. You know, that way they'll think that's what a parent that didn't do nothing would do. If you didn't do anything, you wouldn't care if there was 1 million people on your property. Look all fucking day long because you want your child found, right? Look everywhere. Hell, I'll come help you because I didn't do nothing. But they ain't got sense enough to say, how would a parent that didn't do anything act? A parent that didn't do anything would be on every platform. Like, for instance, take Michael Vaughn. If I was playing Michael Vaughn tonight, oh, you bet your ass his mom would be in this chat. His mom would be up here on this panel. She would come a-running. Anywhere she sees Michael, she comes running because she wants her son found. And that is what an innocent parent does. But Don and Candace, these amateur ass dummies, they don't know what a real parent would do. And they haven't ever done it. They haven't ever done it. Because they're amateur fucking criminals. And in my opinion, they're guilty as fucking hell. And they've looked it, they've acted, and they've showed it. In every way they possibly can. Because they're ignorant. That's just the truth. That's the truth. Those motherfuckers ain't got a brain between them all. And I'm adding the whole group. Like, I'm adding all of these mother freakers and a whole bunch more with them. They ain't got no brain. They're just ignorant. Hunter, Allison, right? The old grandmother. All of them. You take them, every last one of them. Don, Candace, Grandis, Fred Hill, Laura, Andy, Jody, Suze. You take them all. Stick them in a bag, shake the hell out of it, and you wouldn't know who fall out first. That's the truth. I'm going to tell you, I call it like I see it. I don't even care. The truth is the truth. Right? The truth to be standing man when everything else is gone. And I ain't afraid to tell the truth. Like I said from day one, stand me up at the gates of hell. You could stand me up at the gates of hell and I won't back down. Trust and believe. I've been stood up at the gates of hell more than anybody else, more than you'll ever want to know. I have actually walked through hell. I have walked through it many times. And I'm going to tell you something. Jesus always walked with me. I'm not backing down. I'm going to tell the truth, and I don't care if it hurts people's feelings. That's too bad. Because I'm going to tell you, if the truth hurts your feelings, then you need to change. You need to change. Because the truth don't hurt my feelings. I don't like fucking lies. I don't like lies. But the truth I can handle. I can handle the truth. Why? Because I ain't never done nothing. I haven't ever done nothing that fucking evil that I can't handle it. Never done nothing like that. You know, yes, they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. That's true, second to none, but they are ignorant. They're ignorant because if they weren't ignorant, they would have, been smart enough to play their cards different. They'd been smart enough to play their cards on what a real parent with a missing child would have done instead of, playing the fucking games and showing their hand the way they did, not wanting the flyers, not looking for their child, not shedding no tears for their child, not wanting billboards, not, they telling people where the kid ain't. I mean, that's just stupid, if you ask me. That's straight up stupidity. I mean, you know, you put it this way. If you call out a locksmith, right? And the locksmith shows up and he knows what he's doing, well, you'll be in your house real quick, right? Because when you're locked out, you want in way worse than when the door's open, right? Something about being locked out of your house makes you really want to be in it, which is fucking weird, but it's the truth. So, if a locksmith comes out, they know what they're doing, you'll be right in there. But if a locksmith comes out and they don't know what the hell they're doing, and, you might have to call out another one because this one's an idiot and can't get you in no more than you could get yourself in, then you automatically know who's educated, who isn't, right? Who's skilled and who ain't. Well, what I'm saying is Don and Candace and all of them, they're the locksmith that can't get in. The one that's educated and could open the door up like right now, that one would have knew, that makes a good criminal. That makes a good criminal. They're amateur criminals. They pretty much, just handed us what happened to Summer. I mean, from day one, you know, their actions, started to stack up to, hey, these guys are guilty as hell. That's all I'm saying. I don't believe Summer was ever missing. Therefore, they lied, cover up, and have. Yeah, no, she wasn't missing. She wasn't missing. As for Candace, Grandis, and Donald, as for the other people involved, no, Summer wasn't ever missing. She was missing to law enforcement. She was missing to us, but she wasn't missing to them. Exactly. Exactly. I'm going to tell you, if Don and Candace really had a missing child, if they really had a missing child, them two would have been all over the place. Them two motherfuckers would have been all over the place. I mean, they would have been raising Don and Candace and Don, Candace, and Grandis would have all been sitting up on that hill, raising so much hell. I mean, they would have really been raising hell. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that them three, if Summer really was missing. Put a 1 in the chat if you think them three would have been up there raising hell like you ain't ever heard hell raised in your life. Because I truly believe they would have. Just saying. Just saying. I mean, these are mother freakers that go down when there's a car on the road. Their asses are all down there raising hell. When those freaking when those YouTubers went up there, they were Grandis and Candace. They were raising hell, right? They was raising hell, not about Summer. They didn't want to talk about Summer. They wanted to talk about the YouTubers. They wanted to talk about law enforcement and the YouTubers and how law enforcement wasn't handling the YouTubers. You know, they were raising hell. And I'm going to tell you, if Summer truly would have been missing, oh, they'd have been raising hell. They'd have wanted to talk about Summer, and they would have wanted to raise hell about Summer. They wasn't raising no hell because they already knew. You know, they knew. I'm going to tell you now. You couldn't have kept Don Wells out of that wooded area if his daughter really was missing and he didn't know what happened. You couldn't have kept his ass from being in those woods. You couldn't have kept him from, you know, there's no way you would have kept Don Wells off of other people's property. There's no way you would have, you know, you couldn't have controlled him. He, you know, he's uncontrollable. He's an overbearing asshole. Don Wells goes to his own dad's house and tells his dad how him, Candace, and Grandis is going to come up there and take over his dad's property. And it took the other children to set Don straight that no, you're not. I mean, he's ready to whoop up on his dad. He's ready to whoop up on his dad to be able to force himself into this man's home. I mean, you know, so could you imagine if his daughter was really missing? What he would do? He has no problem. Don Wells he's a very thick-faced human being. He has no problem, you know, going where he wants to go and doing what he wants to do. He's overbearing, and so is Candace. I mean, these are two people that went into a woman's house that was kind enough to let them move in, and they trap her by a refrigerator. They trap her in her own kitchen. And God only knows what they would have done if somebody else wouldn't have been there to go get help. I mean, and then they tried to take over the woman's house anyway. They still tried to take over her home. So could you imagine if they really had a missing child? They wouldn't have been acting the way we've seen. That's for sure. Just saying. Oh yeah, I'm going to tell you something. I've met up with some overbearing bastards like that. I've met up with some, and trust me, they ain't never came back. You got to handle those people in a special way. That's the truth. Hey Jenny, how you doing, sweetie? Good to see you. Good to see you. Listen, you guys, PG's going to head out of here. I've already had you in here too late. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. You guys need to get some rest. You need to get some rest and be bright-eyed and cheery tomorrow because you got family coming in. You got all kinds of people looking to, you know, to feast off of your big dinner. And you want to be, I'm going to tell you, you want all the energy you can get tomorrow. Make sure you get a good night's sleep. Get you a snack before you go to bed. Stop by the refrigerator, get you a snack, take yourself to bed, get a good night's sleep, you guys. Get a good night's sleep. And even sleep in. Don't pop up early. Don't get excited and pop up early. Get that extra hour or so of sleep in the morning so you'll be ready to run the whole day because you're going to have a lot to do. You're going to have a lot to do. You're going to need all your strength. So take it, you know, take it easy the rest of the night. Like I said, sleep in. Don't be in a big hurry. And, you know, and just when you do get up, make sure you get yourself all ready for the day because you're going to have a long day ahead of you. So be prepared and, you know, and keep it going. Keep it going with love, kindness, caring, and happiness. And make sure when you sit down at that table, that you grab the hands of the people you love and you bow your head and you thank God for everything that you have with you, around you, and near you. Let God know how much you appreciate all the people in your life, and pray for all of those needing prayer. Say a prayer for them in the name of Jesus. Amen. And have a beautiful Thanksgiving. Have a really beautiful Thanksgiving. Tell people there's no, if someone wants to argue, say, hey, there's no room for arguing today. We're going to have all light and love in here today. Open that door. Tell Satan to get the hell out. You rebuke him in the name of Jesus Christ. And there ain't going to be no arguments. It's going to be all hugging, kissing, and enjoyment. Nothing more, nothing less. Right? Let them know. You ain't going to have it. You ain't putting up with it. Tomorrow is a day of nothing but pure laughter. Tell them if they ain't got nothing good to say, just don't be saying nothing at all. Right? Put a piece of pie in their pie hole. Don't say anything at all. That's what, that's my motto, you guys. That's my motto. Just don't say nothing at all. I'm going to have a beautiful Thanksgiving tomorrow. I'll be a hugging, and I'll be a kissing, and I'll be a laughing and a joking and a carrying on. And you know what? I leave everything else to the four winds. Right? That's what PG does. So happy Thanksgiving. And God bless and much love to everybody. Keep those prayers going up, you guys. Keep the prayers going up for Summer Moon, Utah Wells. She ain't having a Thanksgiving tomorrow. This little girl ain't going to have a Thanksgiving. So make sure you ask God. Make sure you ask God to let her be found. To let justice be served. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Say a prayer for that little girl. Say a prayer for you guys. Don and Candace Wells, they're going to be enjoying Thanksgiving. Grandis going to be enjoying Thanksgiving. Fred Hill, Laura, they're going to be enjoying Thanksgiving. So is Andy and Jody Sue. But Summer won't. Summer won't. Summer won't be enjoying it. She ain't here to enjoy it. I wish she was, but I truly believe she isn't. In my opinion, Summer is already in the arms of an angel, looking down upon us. And I'm going to tell you something. That little girl should have been here enjoying tomorrow with the people she loves. She should have had someone grabbing her hand at the dinner table and letting her say the prayer. I know she would have liked that. She would have liked to said the prayer. But she's not here. Let us remember that. Let us remember that. And let us remember not to be supporting number one suspects, because we support the victims. Amen. That's what God put us here for. He put us here for the victims, not these damn suspects. So you keep those prayers going up for these missing children, especially little Summer, in the name of Jesus. And keep them going up for one another. I know tomorrow at my dinner table, I'll be saying a prayer for you. And I sure hope everybody's saying one for me. Good night, everybody. God bless. Much love.